In talking with many of you over the last couple of weeks, it is clear that as a community, we are wrestling with pain and with grief. Pam reminded us as a staff yesterday that when any one part of the body hurts, the whole body hurts. Right now, the body is hurting. People are wanting to know how to support and care for Kelly and Patrick, and for their family in this time. People are struggling with how to respond to unimaginable violence on the other side of the world in Ukraine. What is there to say? Pain and suffering permeate our human existence. It is ever present. There are times, or perhaps moments, or perhaps even significant durations of time where we may willfully set our minds on other things. In fact, Paul instructs the early church in Philippi, saying, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Set your mind on these things." The reality is, however, there are times when we are confronted with the presence of death and suffering, at home and abroad, in such ways that it unsettles our very souls. We are reminded of the evil in this world and the brokenness of our existence. We were created. We were created in the image of an eternal, loving God. And when we encounter the antithesis of that in creation, hate, death, evil, it provokes within us a restlessness that is difficult to name. We desire to do something, to fix something, to exert some effort that will make us feel useful and not useless in the face of a darkness we cannot control. Friends, may our helplessness direct us not into darkness, but rather into the light. May it remind us of our need to rely utterly on the power of God, on the redeeming love of Christ, and the kind of hope that can only be provided by the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. May it turn us to an attitude of prayer, of falling on our knees and opening our hearts and our minds to the truth that we are God's creation, that we belong to God, and that God will never leave us nor forsake us. Friends, as we move into the coming days, there are two things that we can do. The first is that we can pray. Pray for those in our community. Pray for Patrick and Kelly, for their daughters and spouses, Katie and Tyson, for Lauren and Brooks, and for their new grandbaby, Rebecca. And pray for those suffering in Ukraine. Pray for the people in Russia. And pray that world leaders will find a way forward that puts an end to hostilities. And the second thing that we can do is we can come together as a community to worship, to remind ourselves that we are not the center of our universes. We'll gather tonight at 5:30 first for dinner, and then at 6:30 for Ash Wednesday service in the sanctuary as we begin this Lenten journey together. Join us this Sunday as well as we gather either at 8:30 for contemporary worship or at 11 o'clock for traditional worship. And I encourage you to read Deuteronomy 26, 1 through 11 as you prepare for worship this Sunday. Friends, pray, worship, be safe, and be well. and we'll see you soon.